There we go. Welcome, everybody. So good to be live again on Facebook and Instagram for the first time and YouTube as well. So we had a phenomenal session this morning. I'm laughing a bit because Tabitha wasn't warned before the time that we will be live immediately when she comes on. So she's it, but we prefer it like that on the fly. We are confident in our topic and we love what we do. So always nice to share our passion with the world outside there. So Tabitha, this morning we had a phenomenal group once again. But before we talk about what happened, what do you think is the greatest level of loneliness that, or can you talk to us a little bit about the greatest level of loneliness that ladies experience after discovering that their husband has been doing pornography behind their back? After you've welcomed the audience and greeted everybody.
Good morning, everybody. It's so amazing to be with you guys again. I always enjoy joining Kenneth in these sessions because it's just so inspiring what we get to experience every day with this wonderful organization that we connected to. And I just feel so humbled this morning again to be able to, speak into people's lives and just to be there for people. And it's strange that you say that, Kenneth, because when we went into the breakout rooms, the ladies that I was with, there was one particular lady, and my heart was just so heavy for her because she said to me, I just don't feel enough when my husband tells me I'm stupid, I'm not enough, I'm not clever, I'm not that. And it leads back to what you're saying right now, where you say, what is the deepest amount of loneliness these women are going through when their husbands are dealt with, this addiction? And I think the thing is knowing that you're in a marriage or you're in a relationship and that, you have dreams and hopes with this person, but actually you're so alone. You're on an island because you don't want to speak to your friends about it. You don't want to speak to your mom and your sisters and your brothers or your colleagues at work, because at the end of the day, most of these women, despite the anger and the outrage and everything else, at the heart of it, they want to protect their husbands. They want to protect their integrity, their good standing in their communities or in their businesses. So this situation they find themselves is pretty much that you've been dropped off on an island. There's no one else there. You must drink seawater or find a way to do it. You have to fish. You don't know what you're doing. You have no tools. You don't know what the heck to do. You don't know if the berries are poisonous or if they're not poisonous, but you just have to make a way. Otherwise, you're going to die. And that's the best way for me to describe what these women feel like, because they've been dropped somewhere unfamiliar with no tools to cope with the situation. What do they do? Where do they start? How do they unpack this? Because, there's so much uncertainty, where's this thing going to end up? And I mean, a lot of times that I'm making the assumption, I mean, you would know better, Kenneth, is that I think a lot of the men, they don't want to be horrible or nasty to their wives, but it's the only way to respond because the secret has now come out. What do I do? Where do I go from here? So they also have to be angry at her, right? Because I mean, who else are they going to be angry with? They don't want to be angry at themselves or take responsibility immediately. I mean, nobody wants to say, listen, I'm a porn addict. So, I mean, that's where I think these ladies find themselves. And I think it's an exceptionally horrible place to be in, especially when you don't know that there's places out there like a Grace Online who has support structures for these ladies where you're not judged, where you can say how you're feeling, where you can say where you're at. And I think at the beginning of one of our sessions, I mean, there was an incredible lady who we've been walking this path with for not too long, who you can visibly see the joy that is coming out of her, where a few weeks ago all she could do was cry. She could literally not even utter a word from the amount of pain and immense heartbreak, where today she's just saying, I've got hope, I've got life, I want to make this work. I mean, that's just what's so incredible about what God allows us to see, right, in these women's lives. We get to see the transformation week after week. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can maybe comment from the men's perspective, but yeah, that's pretty much dropping her off on an island, no tools, no survival kits, and she's going to have to make it work.
Mm. But wait a minute, are you saying that at the heart of what these ladies are doing when they reach out to us, they want to protect their husbands? Really, Tabitha?
Of
Speaking on
course.
behalf of all men, I don't think any guy listening to you right now would believe that statement right
No,
there.
I think that the fact that their wives are reaching out to this group is saying that I believe in my marriage or that I haven't given up on you yet. And yes, of course, we've been with ladies who unfortunately had to go through the path of divorce. But that's because, their paths just couldn't realign. But I mean, the fact that it's like she's in a car accident, you driving. You have this massive accident. She's in a coma. She has to go to rehab. She has to do all the work. You know, she doesn't divorce you because you were in a car accident. Is the rehab hard? Is the recovery hard? Of course. I think the fact that your wife is reaching out to these groups and saying, I want better for you, is no greater sign that this woman has not given up on you. And if you cannot see that, I would love to shake you today and say, if your wife is reaching out, she's fighting for your marriage, guys. She's going to be angry. She's going to lash out at you. She's going to tell you how terrible you are. But you know what? She's still fighting for you. And I think that that's the core of her heart, is that I want this marriage to work. Where has my husband gone to? Why did this happen? So I definitely stand by it, Kenneth, that these women, their first priority in their hearts is to save their marriages, 100%. Does it always end that way?
Yeah, absolutely. There you got it, gents. Straight out of Tabitha's mouth. So the ladies are reaching out to us because they want to fight for the relationship.
Yeah.
And you know what's the worst part of any guy that reaches out to us for help? And there's few, not many men take that step. It is that I can't trust anybody. I can't trust anybody. My wife is screaming. She's shouting at me. She's freaking out on me. She's pushing this Grace Online thing down my throat. And I'm sick and tired and gutful of hearing the word Grace Online every day. It's become like a swear word in our house. And now I've got to trust this bald-headed oak about with my life and my wife. You know, she's fine. It's just what the heck is going on here? So I think most of the men battle with trust. The guys that have this problem grew up thinking that if it's gonna be, it's up to me, and it's up to me alone. And I can't trust anybody. Listen, if you're listening to this, sir, meneer, if you're listening to this right now, I know that there's been a point in your life where you made a conscious decision to not trust anybody ever again. You know what? That is an extremely lonely place to live in. As much as the ladies who have discovered actually that they are completely alone, isolated, without anybody to talk to. You felt that exact same thing for many years. I know this. I know this is true because it's just the way this addiction works. If you had people around you that you could trust, that you could speak to, then you would have not been in this strange situation that you're finding yourself in. So I think my biggest challenge today, Tabitha, is to get every single person here to understand that there's a process with the intention of helping people. The more successful we become, the more stories we can share, the more authority we have to stand on the fact that lives are being transformed. So it's our purpose and our intention to help people and to prove to people that help is possible. And for that help to reach your heart, it can only do so by crossing the bridge, which is trust. So won't you today take the first step? Maybe you feel stirring in your heart. Maybe you feel like God is calling you. Maybe it's time for you to take the first step and take the next step and trust what I'm telling you, that I'm here to help you, that there's an open hand waiting for you to reach out and take it and to walk this journey with you. You will not lose your relationship if you're 100% committed, in truth, in honesty, willing to trust and journey with us on this path. So, anything else you want to add in closing, Tabitha?
Yeah, I just want to say to people, you know what, there's no need to fight alone. You know, all of us are fighting silent battles in our hearts, in our minds. You know what, God wants us to live a life of freedom, of purpose. He wants us to thrive. You know, he doesn't want us to live these lives that are unfulfilled and kept in secret. So my challenge out there is, guys, your wives are shouting at you today. They want you in their lives. They love you. They respect you. So you know what, reach out to Kenneth, you know what, make a difference in your life. There's never a wrong time. It's never, ever too late. So my challenge to everybody out there today, if you're listening to this and if this has touched you in some or another way and you need help, please reach out to us. We're there for you. We want to restore your relationships. We want to walk alongside you. And it's never too late. That's the biggest thing, Kenneth. It is never too late. You know, even if you've done this 100 times, you failed, it's okay. There's another chance. And that's what's so beautiful about life. You know, it's not about, often people speak about what I've lost, but I'm saying, stop worrying about what you've lost and say, today is my day. Today is my turning point.
Absolutely. looking forward to connecting with you. You can connect with me in Facebook direct message, or you can comment on this video. Just put a dot there. I'll reach out to you. Hope you have a fantastic day further. Thanks for listening to us. And yeah, we'll chat to you again soon, hopefully Saturday morning after our 6 a.m. Women of Worth support group. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day. Cheerio.
Thanks, guys. Bye.